Fasid. So I'm Gihan, and I'm a software architect at Upstars. And I'm excited to have you join me today as we explore the latest technologies and latest advancement in AI. And we will be specifically focusing on ChatGPT 4 model. So in this webinar, we will dive into the history of evolution of natural language processing models, leading up to the development of ChatGPT 4. And also we will discuss the significant improvements in AI and its novel capabilities and etc. etc. And together we will have a look at the innovative application enabled by ChatGPT 4 and its impact on the AI ecosystem and the ethical consideration surrounding its use. And lastly, we will have a look into the future of NLP and natural language processing models. And we will discuss what we can expect from the AI research in the upcoming years as well. So whether you are an AI enthusiast or a software engineer or just curious about the world of AI, just like myself, so this webinar actually aims to provide valuable insights to all of you. So please feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation, and I'll be happy to address all of them during our Q&A session. Once again, and thank you for joining us today, and let's have a look into our presentation. So this is my personal info, so if you want to have keep in touch with me, so these are the ways to do it. And yeah, so before we begin to the content of our webinar, so I'd like to throw you a poll at you. So all you have to do is take out your mobile phones and open your camera and scan the QR code, so you can provide your valuable insights and answers to our poll. So I'll leave it a little bit here. And while you sending us your votes to our poll, so I will move into the next segment of our webinar. So a brief history of ChatGPT 4. And as we explore the latest in AI, so it is essential to understand the context and the history that led to the creation of this remarkable language model. So let's take a moment to dive into the evolution of natural language processing models and the milestones that brought us this ChatGPT-4 model. The story began with the development of the first generation GPT model by OpenAI. And this initial model laid actually the groundwork for what was to come, showcasing the potential of AI's understanding and generating human-like tests. With each new iteration, OpenAI improved the model capacity, accuracy, and capabilities, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in natural language processing. So as we progress from GPT to GPT-2, then the giant groundbreaking ChatGPT 3 model, and we witnessed the revolution of AI capabilities because it actually changed the whole AI landscape. So with GPT-3 model, it did had 1.75 billions of parameters, training parameters. So it became a major player in the AI industry, offering impressive text generation, summarization, and translation, and a lot of things. And now we have ChatGPT 4, a model that builds on the success of its predecessors while introducing new advancements that have once changed the landscape of AI. Throughout this webinar, we will discuss its key improvements and novel capabilities and broader implications of its powerful language model. So I hope you have, or at least you have scanned the QR code by now, so I will move the slide. So these are the milestones that happen throughout the ChatGPT history. So I'm not just going to read it out, but I'd like to highlight few things here. So if you look at the list, so in 22nd of September 2020, GPT-3 licensed to Microsoft. Prior to this was called OpenAI, even today you can see the domain name actually registered to OpenAI. And after that, Microsoft actually brought in the company. Then they started developing with their own goals. And in 2023, 1st of February, so ChatGPT 3 hits the 100 million monthly active unique users. So that's a big achievement from their perspective. And yeah, so they were actually suffering from, by that time, they were actually suffering from success because they had to scale their application. Even they had to scale, they weren't able to uh, provide their service to paid users. So they had to hold it for a while, if you actually remember what happened during those days. Uh, so after that, ChatGPT became the go-to place for, especially for developers and programmers. So they actually now don't look at YouTube or Stack Overflow. They just go to ChatGPT and ask things and clarify to help with their development stuff. So with that thought, so let's move into our next segment, the new advancement in AI. So as we continue to explore the world of ChatGPT 4, so it's crucial to understand the key advancement that set it apart from the previous model and have made it a game changer in artificial intelligence. And first, we will look at the architecture improvements in ChatGPT 4, uh, including I'm seeing something. Uh, yeah, um, including large models and the increased capacity. So this enhancement led to better context understanding and more coherent text generation, and overall, it improved performance of in a variety of natural language processing tasks. So if we look at this picture, so we can see the GPT-3 model didn't have much of reasoning power compared to GPT-4 model, and it has improved a lot of things like speed and consciousness. And because of this improvement of this consciousness, so we usually call it like artificial general intelligence. People actually feared about it, and they actually predicted. We actually uh, uh, started to um, uh, improve our game in the AI because we are very close to pass the very close to have application that can pass the um, uh, that AI benchmarking tool. So, sorry, I can't actually remember its name, so I will later explain it later. And let's move to the next slide. So, so this is a little bit of comparisons, how many training parameters that both model had. So even though in the OpenAI blog, they announced that GPT-3 had 1.7 billion training parameters, but they haven't actually published anything related to GPT-4, but we assume it is something, a number look like this. And when it's come to comparison, so as I mentioned earlier, so it can do better language. It does have better language comprehension. So it does have a more advanced and better understanding of the context. Especially, you can start typing something and it will remember. And if the conversation or the dialogue goes further, so you can ask question about something you mentioned earlier. So it's like human right interaction. So logical reasoning also has been improved, and even though things are like that, it does have its limitations. So it can, in GPT-3, it can generate incorrect or nonsensical responses. But when it comes to GPT-4, it also does have similar limitations, but it's way more accurate than the GPT-3. And also requires conscious research and collaboration to ensure similar. And but this time GPT-4 actually take actual measures, actions to implementing safety mitigations, such as they try to uh, avoid few use cases, like if someone actually try to make the GPT model or the AI to talk in a bad way, so they just restrict it. And if they are now trying to not use user data to train their model, instead they are now trying to use their own data set to train the AI model. So major difference when it comes to major differences in GPT-3 and GPT-4, GPT-3 only can have input as text, because it's text-based thing, and but GPT-4, it can we can have text-based input and as well as audio, image, and visual inputs. But if you actually look into the GPT-4 paid ChatGPT model, you don't see anywhere to upload any images, videos, or anything other than text. But they have provided us API. So by using API, so developers can, external parties can develop something, or maybe plugins, add-ons to work with the ChatGPT 4. So due to that reason, the GPT-4 does now have image analysis, and Amazon Firefly is a very good example for it. I'll discuss it a little bit later. So language understanding. So now it can understand a lot of languages, including Sinhala language and Dutch. And it's much more accurate than the GPT-3, and it does have a lot of tokens and words as well. Things that GPT-4 can do, but GPT-3 can't. So it can't actually see and understand models. But just keep in mind, so this will happen only through the plugins and the external vendors, because they have exposed a public API to be used by developers. GPT-4 is a little bit harder to trick than the GPT-3, but I have seen people try to fool the GPT-4 AI model. Some actually have succeeded in doing it, and it does have long memory, and it's multilingual, and it does have different personalities as well. And so these are some funny stuff that people try to uh, have attempted. So they actually try to break the system as well. So this is something where happened during the Sinhala New Year. So, so yeah, novel application enabled by ChatGPT 4. So there are a lot of application. Even very recently, a lot of third-party vendors, they actually leverage the power of GPT-4 by using the OpenAI public API. So they have created a lot of public applications. So if you go to this chatgptdemo.com, so you can find a vast number of application that has been used in different areas, different domains, including finance, development, and creativity, and etc. etc. So, so this is the website I am talking about. So this does have a list of applications that actually leverage the power of ChatGPT. So I like to emphasize one application because it is Adobe Firefly. So what does it does it? So you can actually uh, type something like if you want, if I give you a use case, so if you want to um, draw an image of a beach, so you can just type, please draw me an image of a beach, and it will just generate the image for you. In reality, it will scrape some part of the, but in reality, in practically, so you will see an image generated for you. And you can do add-ons and do small tweak to it by using, you don't need to use any tools, just use the chat box and ask like something like, hey, can you add a boat uh, um, close to the beach? So it will automatically generate it. It's very powerful stuff, guys. So you can have a go at it, so if you have some time. So next, our topic is the impact of ChatGPT 4 on the AI ecosystem. So, so it's now time to consider the broader implication of this powerful language model and the impact on the AI ecosystem. So even by looking at the slide, you can actually see, so Google have entered the rat race, so they have created their own version, they are not own version, their own AI application to just to challenge OpenAI's ChatGPT. So Microsoft actually bought OpenAI, now it's ChatGPT. So uh, so there are a lot of stuff. So we will examine how this advancement in ChatGPT have shaped the AI community tools and platforms. The rise of large-scale language model like GPT-4 actually led us a surge in interest and investment in AI. So it actually dived the creation of new tools and services that actually uh, benefited for the various industries and use cases. And yeah, so when it's come to creating AI or giving birth to AI, so it does have a limitation and considerations as well. So first take a look at the limitation of ChatGPT 4. While it has made significant strides in understanding and generating human-like text, it still faces challenges in dealing with bias and maintaining context over longer interactions, and sometimes it will generate incorrect or nonsensical answers, but it's improving. But acknowledging these limitations help us to understand where improvements are still needed and how to use GPT for responsibly. And yeah, well, let's uh, talk about um, the ethical considerations surrounding GPT-4. As AI systems became more uh, integrated into our daily lives, so it is crucial to address issues related to privacy and accountability and the potential for misuse. For example, some people in some employees in uh, Silicon Valley Bay areas that they have fed their salary information to GPT-4, and on the other side of the world, someone asked the something related to salary information, they would have gotten the data very quickly, but there was no privacy. So that happened during the GPT-3 model. So in GPT-4, they have now restricted it because now they have took a decision to train the data set only on their own by using their own data, not using the uh, users' data. So, and lastly, so we should highlight the efforts that being made by organizations like OpenAI to mitigate these issues. So OpenAI is actually actively working on reducing biasness in their models improving transparency and engaging with the AI community to ensure AI systems are developed and deployed in a manner that benefits all of us. And so after that, so let's have a look into the future of NLP and language models. So as we come to the final steps of our journey of the world of GPT-4. So let's take a moment and try to explore the future of natural language processing and natural language models. The advancements we have seen so far are just the beginning, but there are so much to be excited about as we move toward the field of AI. And yeah, hang on a second. So I forgot something. Oh no, right, everything's good. Um, I thought I forgot to record the meeting. I guess PewDiePie is doing it. So let's um, so these are the predictions that we will see with the development of NLP. So there will be huge investments in NLP. So it will continue to rise. So there will be enhanced data availability and equality. And there will be a lot of AI tools, and it will get smarter day by day. And a lot of people are actually trying to compete with the AI war, and there is something called AI war. So people try to uh, uh, create better AIs day by day, and it will include conversational banking, and such as, if, for example, if you go to if you in at the moment, if you want to open a bank account in a particular bank, you have to go to one of their branch. But with conversational banking, so I assume there will be some scenarios you can just use a chatbot which is integrated to the bank website. So you can just provide the banking details, so the bot will take care of the creating the bank account. And such as things like this will emerge, and intelligent automation will be there, and more companies from various sectors try to implement sentiment analysis, and usage of voice biometrics will become more common. And yeah, so what can developers do with ChatGPT 4? So developers can do a lot of things. They can do code analysis, they could do code reviews, and things like that. And like code generation, then developers can do to help with their existing improve their code coverage. And if there is no comment, so there are tools you can generate the code comments for the particular project or the file. And before we go into next segment and explain how I use ChatGPT so far, so I would like to have your opinion about what do you use for ChatGPT for. So as earlier, so you can take your mobile phones and scan the QR code and send us answers. So I will be waiting for like 1 minute until you scan the QR code. So when it's come to daily ChatGPT use, as a daily ChatGPT use, I use it as a I myself consider it as a expert system. So earlier days, so like in 90s, we had expert system like MySyn. So it's very specific to medical domain. So it was an experiment, but it was a success. So because of that, some companies actually started using its name to brand their medicines as well. For example, T-mycin. So there are a lot of medicines named after it. So Like I said, I use it as mainly as a expert system, and I use it to write proper, like professional emails, and I like to um, use it to pair programming, and I like to use it to uh, help me with some of the writings, and I use it to proofread some of the text I wrote. So these are things I actually use. So from the community, I say they use a lot of things, use it for a lot of things like learn finance and learn coding and such new things. So generate new image and generate sample codings. Cool, cool, very cool. So 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 now I would like to show you a small demo of a specific use case. So you all know ChatGPT is actually text-based application, at least for now, but you can use it, like I said, by using third-party vendors. They do have connection to ChatGPT, but I'm just talking about the usual ChatGPT 4 or ChatGPT model that you see when you actually go to the OpenAI websites. So let's try to draw a architectural diagram by using ChatGPT. So here is a requirement. So pretty simple, straightforward requirement. So requirement for a school management system. So we need to keep uh, think of this as like a university project. So we need to keep track of students' attendance, and we need to provide exam schedules at regular intervals, and we need to assist two-way communication with students and parents, and we need to register new students, administrative management for both faculty and the students, and managing the payment of fees. And it should offer new room to facilitate features that will help the school's branding. So those are the basic requirements. Now let's try to use power of ChatGPT to draw a diagram for us. So here, so I actually recorded this. Mm, okay, give me a second. Um, okay, hope you can see it. So let me speed it up a little bit. So here, I'm just going to type, I want to draw a system design based on the following requirements. I have chosen the training module as GPT-4. So I will just copy paste the requirements here in bullet forms. So it's immediately just going to say so it's unable to draw anything because it's a text-based application, but it can describe what to do based on our requirement. So it says we need to have a database and to store all relevant data, and possible suggestions like MySQL or PostgreSQL can be used. And it can use RESTful API, and the front end, it just suggests these things will be there, what to do for each and every component. But that's not what I want. That's not what I'm after. So I'm just going to ask a new question. So can you draw it by using Mermaid syntaxes? So Mermaid JS syntax is a newly developed syntaxes. So it can help to draw diagrams. If you go to mermaidjs.com, so you can see it. in a minute. We are going to do it by ourselves. So it has given us the link also to go and copy paste the code. See how easy how easy it is to use ChatGPT for to these kind of things. So with that thought, okay, right. So latest developments in AI. So let's discuss the advancements in computer vision, particularly in field of deep learning techniques like um, CNN or conventionally neural networks and generative adversarial networks as well. So there are a lot of developments happening these days. So I would like to give you attention, pay your attention for few of the things. So let me show you a small video clip. So don't worry, it doesn't have any audio. So just want to show you things that AI bot can do. So it is a major competitor to ChatGPT, but comparatively, Google is a little bit behind the game. So let's move to the next slide. It's the same. Here, I do have something called Atlas. So this is something developed by Boston Dynamics. So it's a robot. So I would like to show you this as well. So this is some AI developments by Boston Dynamics, company called Boston Dynamics. And as the next one, so I'd like to show you a small video clip about Sophia. Uh, so she can actually respond. So she's known as the emotion robot because so you can see the facial expressions. I think she got citizenship in AUE, Dubai. There were those um, as the next one. So with that thought, so recently some of the tech giants, including Steve Wozniak and Elon Musk, and some of the tech billionaires as well. So they uh, composed an open letter to the public to stop or pause, not stop, pause giant AI experiments because they were worried about the artificial developments of artificial general intelligence because even ChatGPT 4 model actually has shown us some of the uh, improvement in that area because people actually feared if there are a lot of use cases, there will be a lot of use cases that people will be misusing. But I think, in my opinion, so this letter came like came into picture like a few weeks before, now it's a little bit outdated, but now I think uh, with latest development with Elon Musk, he actually invented a new uh, AI company called XAI. I think he used this later to just buy some time to compete with the giant competitors. So, but anyhow, ChatGPT is already blocked in various countries like China, Iran, Italy, North Korea, and Russia. And some of the countries actually don't like it. Some of the countries actually had um, um, genuine concerns about privacy. And so this is one of experiment done by some of the ChatGPT users. So has asked what human traits or jobs will be replaced by in near future. So there's a list, but don't worry. So it's not a big deal, but when we actually look at in the past, when calculators come to the market, math teachers actually protest against the usage of calculators, but we are usually using it, and we have developed on top of a lot of things, special computers. Now, in some countries, they actually use computers or tabs for the education purpose. And yeah, so what do you think of this? So what do you think about the latest AI developments? So give us your honest opinions. We are very much happy to discuss. We are very much happy to know about it. So like last time, so all you have to take your phone and scan the QR code and give us your opinion. So while you provide your uh, valuable input, so I will look at our chat messages to see if we have any questions. So Renat has asked, is there no paywall anymore? Um, no, still it is. GPT-4 is still a paid application. So you have to pay $20 US dollars per monthly to obtain that. I heard OpenAI hired a bunch of people to manage and label the uh, training data sets. And there's a huge conversation going on how much they are paying per hourly for training the data set. Yes, GPT-4 is still behind the paywall. Before we wrap up the webinar, so if you have any questions, so now it's time to send it on. I'll try to answer to my knowledge. So a lot of people actually seems to be excited about the AI development. They are not actually afraid, so that's good because every uh, paradigm shift, AI, this is a paradigm shift. So this is actually going to change a lot of things in in a good way, I believe. So it's going to be difficult for some people. So it's going to be a new change because, as you can see, so I saw some of the new Udemy courses just on how to use ChatGPT 4, and they are actually calling it like prompt engineering. So they actually like a they provide predefined text-based um, templates how to use it for special use cases. So if we, for the people actually who are not familiar with it, So likewise, so there will be a lot of opportunities in such a way you don't actually think of. Okay, I other says I saw an article about person who has wrote a book with ChatGPT and Midjourney within 72 hours. Yeah, that's possible. I don't know how the credibility of that because of the privacy issues and because that person actually didn't wrote anything. He probably have type and jot something on the chat prompt, get it done. Yeah. So a lot of people actually have voted that they are actually excited. Some actually says we should pause the AI development for a while to figure things out about the limitation and the ethical concerns. So anyway, so with that thought, we are actually reaching the end of our webinar. So please keep in mind, so you are not going to be replaced by AI, but you will be replaced by someone who uses AI. So you need to get into this wave and adapt to it anyway. So thank you guys. If you have any questions, just send it here. I will try to answer it. So once again, thank you.
Thank you, Gian. That was great. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Renaud.
Does anybody have any questions that they want to share with Gihan? You can write them in the chat box, or you can just say them out loud. No, but you're getting lots of claps there, Gihan, and celebrations, which is super nice.
Yeah, cool. Cool to
All
hear
right.
that.
That was an awesome session, Gihan. Thank you so much. Great to see all the user ideas shared from both yourself and also the participants via Slido too. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Great to see so much interest in AI this evening and ChatGPT as it now becomes a major part of our daily lives. These knowledge sessions become more increasingly important. So it's nice to see so many of you here with Gap Stars this evening. Thanks again to Gihan, who took the time to prepare the session and share your AI insights with us, which is amazing. We really appreciate it, and you did an awesome job. So if there's no more questions, we'll wrap it up here. And thank you so much for joining, everyone, and great to see all your faces.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.